Hi, I'm the Worst Toon NA, or if you know me from my League of Legends focused channel, the Worst Kench NA. League of Legends is a nice game to play sometimes, and it certainly has an audience that, well, it's got a pretty big audience, right? I've been invested in the MOBA genre through League for about 6 years now. But because I've been gaming since I was about 4 years old or so, it's ultimately a small part of my gaming history, which is replete with first-person shooters like Half-Life 2, Team Fortress 2, Garry's Mod, well, the entire source library basically. Role-playing games like Pokemon, Mass Effect, The Elder Scrolls and Fallout series, RTS games like Age of Mythology, fighting games like the Super Smash Bros. Series, adventure games like the Tomb Raider series, of which the first one was actually the first non-edutainment game I've ever played, back in around 1997 or so, and of course, MMORPGs, like MapleStory, World of Warcraft, EVE Online, Elder Scrolls Online. I realize how much I'll be dating myself by saying this, but Ultima Online? Yes, I'm that old. And of course, the game you see before you. Since it's the game I'm using footage from, and the game that'll be the subject of this video, I'm going to talk more in depth about my relationship with it. I had played Ultima Online prior to downloading it, but the first actual MMO I had properly played to near completion was Toontown Online. I had heard about it in 2003 after coming back one day from school, got into the game more and more, and the rest is history. My original toon was a dog named Master Chipper Giggledoodle. Amazing name, right? Which I probably didn't put a lot of thought into. But it is what it is. I had gotten him to max laugh before the release of any of the COG HQs, and since I wasn't crazy about running the VP, I believe he was about a mover and shaker by the time TTO closed. Around that time I started to get interested in other games like MapleStory as well, so it got to the point where I'd only occasionally play the game again, especially since he had to pay a subscription in order to play it. Regardless, I've been with the game since about the beginning of its existence, despite not doing all of the content in the game, which is why I think this will be exciting, at least for me, to chronicle in a video series. Ever since I'd heard back in 2015 that there was a new, popular free-to-play server based off the now-defunct TTO, I went ahead and made a Toontown Rewritten account, and the rest there is history. Eventually I discovered that the game is old enough to where I could multi-box it without any problems, so I made another account, and another, where I eventually got to where I am now, often doing content with all three of my accounts at once, in areas where it would be appropriate to do that sort of thing. Which is why I feel like this could be as interesting a series as it is, because I don't believe people have done a Let's Play of the game in a format like this before. But before we get into that, we should get into what toons I'll be using for this Let's Play. That I totally didn't record before I started recording this. Nope, I definitely didn't. Alright, so how I've got this set up is, I've got each group of 3 toons represented on the spinner here, and to make it more dramatic, I figured I'd make it in an elimination variant of me choosing which group I pick. Meaning that whichever group gets landed on gets taken off the wheel until there's only one group remaining. Starting at the top and going clockwise, we've got Girl Power. They're girl toons. That's about it. Seeing as my main is part of that group, another one in that group is doing Lawbot HQ tasks, and the third one is still in TDC. It'd be a strange group to run, but one I'm open to doing. Next we have the Master Chefs. They're an otherwise innocuous group of chef-themed toons that are actually references to my old TTO mains, which I chose not to remake on TTR. There's a horse, which... okay, she is not a reference actually. But there's a dog in the group that shares the last name Giggledoodle with my first TTO main, and another toon, Chef Bella, which is probably the closest feminine name that relates to Beppo, the name of my other TTO main. Then there's the OGs, or the OTs, if that would be more accurate. These are toons that were on my old TTO accounts, but since they weren't the mains on them, they never really got the same amount of playtime. Next up would be Opulence. This is a group of 2 toons that absolutely love to flex their imaginary wealth. Or at least that's what their choice in clothing might lead you to believe. They also come fully equipped with a Butler Pig toon that hasn't received his paycheck in a while. Then we've got Pizza and Toon Ball. I don't really know if TVs exist in Toontown, but if they do, these three would be permanent features on the sofa watching some Toon Ball, chowing down on pizza, and, well, beer probably doesn't exist in Toontown. Soda? Trulies? One of those. And then there's the Legion of Cute, which, well, if they get picked, you'll see why they're called that. Anyways, whichever one gets picked here will be the group of toons I decide to make my first set of videos about as I chronicle their journey through a very original Let's Play through the admittedly on-rails journey that is the Toontown task system, all the way up until their Boss Spot HQ tasks, and since those are basically just grinding endlessly in Boss Spot HQ itself, I figured we'd give that group of toons a little break once they get there. Alright, and without further ado, let's get the spinning underway. Alright, and it looks like the final two we have are the Dude Bros, which I say Dude Bros, but there's a girl toon in this group, and the complete opposite of Dude Bros. So let's go ahead and spin this thing and see who we end up playing for the foreseeable future. And it looks like it'll be the anti-Dude Bros, or just the girls, that works too. While the wheel bits were recorded prior to me writing the script, the results were still completely random. The series will probably be a little weird to record since the three toons I'll be using are 106 laugh, 94 laugh, and 20 laugh. It'll be a little different than what I had been planning with the others, where pretty much all the toons in the groups are around roughly the same laugh, but I'll roll with it. I guess I should also mention why I've been wanting to make content about this game in the first place. In short, it's really the only MMO I both have fun playing and could reasonably make content on. Along with this, I'm also playing EVE Online, and I'm currently subscribed to WoW. In the case of the former, where it is such a PvP and intel-heavy game, I'd have to be very careful about the kind of content I make for it, and any uploads I make would probably be sporadic at best. In the case of the latter, well, more qualified minds than I have spoken on why WoW is currently awful for anyone that isn't a Mythic Raider or hardcore PvPer. Toontown is a grind, yes, but it's not a grind that requires your attention every single day. WoW has daily quests that I pretty much need to do to stay relevant in the game, and let me tell you, they're not very fun. Given all the negative press around it too, yeah, I think I'd much rather be playing Toontown. And also, given that I'm not getting any younger, I'll take a much more casual grind over what WoW is right now. So that's about it. I look forward to uploading more of the game as it really is one that's near and dear to my heart, and I hope you're interested in watching what invariably will end up being the two high laugh toons carrying the lower laugh one through everything. Mostly. I'll probably take those training wheels off at some point. Thanks to all that have watched this video, and I will be uploading more shortly.